Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss what is an identifier, what are the rules you need to follow for an identifier, what is a variable, how to declare a variable, all these concepts I will discuss in detail for you. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First let me tell you what is an identifier. Identifier is useful for you to identify something. Suppose let's take that how you have identified my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has a name called Parnika tutorials. You would have typed in the YouTube search bar Parnika tutorials, or one of your friend would have referred the Parnika tutorials YouTube channel is very good for C programming, Python, Java, like that. Then you would have searched it. Is it clear? Similarly, how someone can identify you with your name. Suppose let's take that you are working in some organization. There how some people can identify you with the help of employee ID, because uniquely they need to identify with your name. Suppose let's take that your name is Ramesh. So many Rameshes will be there in a particular organization. Similarly, you are studying in some college, then there you will have a roll number to uniquely identify. So if someone want to identify what you are giving, is it clear? Similarly, in Java also you will have certain components like classes, you will have variables, methods. We need to identify them uniquely. How can we uniquely identify them? By giving the names. So the names used for classes, variables and methods are called the identifiers. Is it clear? So I hope you have understood the purpose of an identifier. Now let me discuss what are the rules you need to follow for giving the names for classes, variables and methods. Generally I am telling. The first thing is that you should use characters. You should use the characters small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and digits 0 to 9. And you can use two special symbols. One is the dollar and another one is the underscore. Nothing else is allowed. Okay, so characters you can have from small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and then digits 0 to 9, and then you will have the dollar and then you will have the underscore. So these are the symbols you should use for giving a name to the classes, variables and methods. Okay, now the another thing is that suppose let's take that you have given some name. Suppose let's take that you have given a name called name itself. This is the first character. Am I right? This is the first character in the name. Remember one thing. Always the first character in an identifier should not be digit. You should not give digit here. Should not be a digit. It should not be a digit. It can be a dollar or underscore or the character. So let me write in a generalized. The first character cannot be a digit. Character cannot be a digit. Okay, and the next rule is, okay, white spaces are not allowed. Okay, white spaces are not allowed in between. White spaces are not allowed. Like suppose if you look at my YouTube channel, I would have written as Parnika space tutorials. Am I right? Then only we will say it is Parnika tutorials. Is it clear? But such white spaces are not allowed between. Suppose look at here. Here you have a Parnika, there is a white space and then tutorials. Such kind of white spaces in between an identifier is not allowed. Okay, and similarly it is case sensitive. The identifiers are case sensitive. Meaning is that suppose let's take that you have kept an identifier as Ravi, R-A-V-I, Ravi. This one and small a, small r, small a, small v, small I. So Ravi in capital letters and Ravi in small letters will be different. Okay, is it clear? So I hope this is what one is that characters small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, digits 0 to 9, and the special symbols only you can use dollars and underscore. Always the first character cannot be a digit. Okay, white spaces are not allowed, case sensitive. And remember one more important point, the keywords you cannot use it as an identifier. What is meant by keyword is keyword has a specified meaning. Suppose let's take that you have a if keyword. This if keyword will be useful for you to do the if condition. Similarly, you will have else. So that is also a keyword which has a specified name. You cannot change the name of that one. Similarly, let's take that you are using a for loop. Then there you will use a keyword called for. Similarly, for writing the class, you will use the class name. So their class is a keyword. Is it clear? So such kind of keywords you cannot keep it as an identifier. Okay, keywords are not allowed. Keywords are not allowed. Is it clear? So now let me ask one thing. Let's take that you have one Ravi. Is it a valid identifier? No, it is not a valid identifier. Why? The first character cannot be a digit, but here the first character is 1, which is a digit starting from 0 to 9, anything. Okay, so that's why it is not a valid identifier. So always whenever you are keeping a name to the classes, variables and methods, you need to follow all these rules. Okay, I hope you have understood what is an identifier, what are the rules you need to follow for an identifier. Now let me discuss about the variable. Variable is a container which is used to store the values while you are executing the program. Or even I can say variable is a name given to the memory location. Look at here, everything will be stored in some memory location. Okay, suppose let's take that you want to store 30 and 20. So you would have stored 30 in some memory location, 20 value in some memory location. So if you want to give a name, then you will give the variable as a. So whenever you want to access the 30 with the help of variable a, you will access it. Similarly, variable b. So remember one thing, all the variables you need to follow the rules of the identifier. Just now we have discussed identifier is a name given for the classes, variables and methods. So the point here is that a is a variable and b is a variable given for some memory location, and it consists of a value called 30. Is it clear? Here the variable b is having the value 20 in some memory location. Now you can ask me, sir, how can we declare a variable? Remember one thing, Java is a statically typed programming language, whereas Python is dynamically typed programming language. So in Python, you no need to declare any variables before you are using. However, in Java, C, C++, you need to declare the variables. So how can you declare the variables is, you need to specify the data type, okay, and then you need to use the variable name, okay, ends with a semicolon. Is it clear? So the data type will tell you what kind of value you can store in a variable, or what is the range of values you can store in a variable. Suppose let's take that if it is an int, you can store the integers. If it is a boolean, you can store true or false. If it is a float, you can store a real numbers. If it is a char, then you can store a character. If it is a string, you can store a collection of characters. So the data type will tell you what kind of values you can store. Similarly, I told you that range also. If it is byte, okay, if it is byte, then it will be 1 byte information. 1 byte means 8 bits. So using 8 bits, you can store a minus 128 to 127. So if you kept a variable as byte, then this is the range of values you can store. Similarly, if it is an int, okay, then it will be 4 bytes, then the range will be different. If it is a short, then it is 2 bytes, then some range will be there. So the point here is that the data type will tell you what kind of values you can store, and also it will tell you how much memory will be occupied for this variable, and also it will tell you what range of values you can store. In detail, I will discuss about the data types in the next video. Okay, so here the point is only that the variable name have a data type, so that it will tell you the variable what kind of values you can store and how much memory will be allocated. Because I told you that every variable have a variable is a name given for some memory location. Okay, now you can ask me, sir, how can I initialize a value? Then you can initialize it as After declaring, you can write variable name is equal to some 30 ends with a semicolon. So here the variable name itself I have given as a variable name, it is having the value 30. Next time if you write variable name is equal to, see here there is no space, variable name is equal to variable name plus 1. Okay, then look at here, what will be the value which will be stored in the variable name? Let me write it shortcut as vn. Okay, initial it is having the value 30, then you have written variable name is equal to variable name plus 1. So variable name is already having 30, 30 plus 1 is 31, that 31 will be stored back in the variable name. So next time if you are accessing the variable name, it will have value 31, 30 will be erased. So a variable can store a single value at a particular instant of time. Is it clear? If it is an int, you can store a single integer. If it is a char, you can store a single character at any point of time. Suppose let's take that next time someone has written variable name is equal to 100, ends with a semicolon. Then you have to remove 31 and then 100 will be stored in the some memory location, means same memory location. Is it clear? I hope you have understood what is an identifier, what are the rules you need to follow for the identifier, then what is a variable, okay, how can you declare a variable, and then how can you initialize the value for a variable, and how can you do some operations on the variable. I hope it is clear for you. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.